Alright, I'm here at the homestead. Is this a homestead? I don't think it actually is, but I like calling it a homestead. I don't know what actually qualifies a property to be a homestead. We've been jokingly calling this my house a homestead at work, and I've gotten used to it, so I feel like it is because the amount of work that's going into it, but anyway, that said, I got the trailer backed in, got the excavator out here now. I'm unloading right here instead of up in the field. So, because right here I've got the shortest, this is where I can create the shortest transfer from the trailer to the driveway. That I can have the mellowest ramp angle right here. And I won't have to drive it down that steep road that I made right off the bat. Never driven this excavator before, never driven any type of excavator before. All my experience is in telescopic forklifts, boom lifts, tractors, my little mini backhoe. I don't have any experience operating anything very similar to this besides my little Harbor Freight backhoe that doesn't drive. And I guess the next closest thing would be a tractor or a telehandler. Not similar. So unfortunately, my first time doing this ever is going to be unloading it off the trailer. But I'm not too concerned about it. Because for one, this spot right here, I could definitely just drive off with no ramps. It's like an 8-inch tall little ledge. So I don't think there's much that can go wrong here. Never even turned this thing on before, so. And the guy actually didn't even tell me how to turn it on. So hopefully I can figure that out also. Well, let me shut this cab door. Definitely hard to drive precisely. I'll get the hang of it. But yeah, we're doing just fine now. So I don't have it in the plan or have the time to do any digging with or use this thing at all this weekend. I might kind of scrape around with it maybe tomorrow just to test it out. But I know that everyone is curious after my last video to see some more in-depth stuff with this thing. So I'm gonna do like a little initial first impressions video. So first thing I'll say, this thing is really loud. You're in here, the engine is just right underneath the seat here. So you're basically in an enclosed space with that engine running. It has an exhaust pipe coming out the back, so you're not in there with exhaust gases, but as soon as you, all the way at idle, it's like pretty loud. It's like right at the tolerating point. As soon as you rev it up, it's way too loud to be in there without earplugs. So that's one thing. Fortunately, if any of you guys see my EDC video, I always have earplugs in my pocket, so I put those in immediately. The hydraulics move fast, especially coming off of the Harbor Freight backhoe where everything is so slow. The hydraulics are fast on this thing. They're almost too fast. I tested out the windshield wiper. It works. I can't tell if the lights on the outside are coming on or not. I can't see them from in here. When I turned them, I didn't get out while I had them on, but the fan actually works pretty good. It's pretty loud, but who cares? As soon as this thing's running, you can't hear it anymore. But it actually is a really nice little breeze blowing on you right there. Drivability is, I'm going to have to get used to it. It is twitchy. It is very hard to drive this thing precise at all. It's like if you're not like a robot in here, moving your arms perfectly, it's jerking left and right and stopping one track and going with the other. I have no excavator experience to compare that to anything else, so I don't know if that's just how they always are. Probably not real different from typical situations. It really doesn't matter most of the time, but like my trailer, the ramps, the rod the ramps hook into don't go all the way across, so all the way in as close as you could get them was like not quite as narrow as they needed to be for these tracks. So like when you're trying to precisely go down those ramps and it's doing that, it makes it a little bit scary. But here I'll put my earplugs in and start it up so you guys can see, now that you got the full frame, what all the movements look like. Push some gravel back and forth with this blade too, just to kind of test it out. Starts easy. That'll let you start. Looks good. Okay, let me rev it up. It's going to take some getting used to the speed of those hydraulics. Yeah, so this thing is definitely being limited by my operating skills currently. I don't know what I'm doing with it. And we'll find out about the capability of it. But like just then, I can feel that it has a release, pressure release, probably to keep from damaging itself, which is good. But it may not be as good at grabbing onto and moving things as I thought. I'm sure it'll still be good for like brush. That would be interesting to take it down there to my burn pile and see how well it can crush all those tree branches and pick them up and stuff. But I mean, it can move this rock. I'm still nervous about the stability of this thing. It's so narrow, and I know that it's not that heavy. It just feels, and I do have it, I don't know if you can tell how not level it is. My driveway didn't turn out totally level. It still slopes down as it comes this way. I need to build this retaining wall up another level and pour more gravel over here. So having it over here next to the retaining wall, it's already kind of leaning this way, and then getting some weight and turning that way is kind of scary. So without me knowing how stable it is. So that's probably about all that I'm going to do with it today. I really got to get back to working on the bathroom. It's going to be interesting to get figured out. My first impressions, overall, the issues that I see so far is that unlike the Harbor Freight backhoe, it seems like this one is really limited on its strength. The hydraulics don't feel nearly as strong on this one. They're a lot faster, but like trying to grip that rock, it just doesn't have the strength to grab onto it. And then messing around with that pile just then, it doesn't feel that strong. And also the hydraulics that power the tracks, I don't know if I got it on video at all, but this thing almost got stuck twice right here in this gravel. It's like if it kind of if it spins a little bit and digs up some gravel around its tracks, it doesn't have the strength to turn the track in the gravel. I don't know if I'll get that figured out, if that's just something I'm doing wrong, but that was kind of strange. That happened 2 different times when I was trying to turn it and pull it in here, and it turned and kind of just pushed some gravel ruts up onto the sides. All of a sudden that track couldn't turn anymore. I had to work it back and forth until it got in a spot where it could move again. And then it did it again whenever I tried to turn it around and back it in right here. It got stuck like right here. It dug this little trench out and got that track in it. Just this little bit of gravel. Strange, but we'll see. But that means it may not be able to navigate through soil that you have dug up very well. You know, if you have to drive over piles of dirt, if it can't drive in this loose gravel, that could potentially be an issue. Another issue is that something else that will probably get better with time. I can't drive this thing without tearing up my driveway. I'm trying my best to be as smooth as I can on all my movements, and it's just not smooth enough to not spin out in all this gravel and push it all around, which you can't expect too much. I'm not complaining about any of this stuff. I expected it to be suboptimal for the price. I mean, compare the price to it. I paid, this was $5,000 for the machine, $200 something for sales tax. Find a different machine for anywhere near the price. But that's not a Chinese one. Find a brand name. You know, a Kubota or a John Deere or Case, any of those regular mini excavators, even the smallest ones they make. I don't know a number, so I'm not going to say anything, but it's a lot more than 5,000 brand new. I know that. So possibly next weekend, sometime soon, I'm going to work on some comparisons between the Harbor Freight backhoe and this Chinese mini excavator. They're not really that similar, besides just that they both dig and they're both cheap. But we'll come to the conclusion on which one is the more bang for the buck, which one's the more capable machine. After using this today, I don't know. I had a feeling this thing would just blow the Harbor Freight backhoe out of the water, but first impressions, it might be closer than I thought. But I want to compare maneuverability, stability, strength, speed, just overall capability. Because yeah, this thing can move under its own power, but if it's so unstable that you can't drive it on anything except flat ground, and if it gets stuck in loose ground, is it really better than the backhoe that so far has been able to navigate everything that I've tried to navigate with? Dragging itself around with the bucket actually works really good, which you can't always. You do have that capability with this also. You could drive it, and it'd be hard to drive it and manipulate the bucket. You could drag yourself while you're driving. I'm gonna test all that stuff when I start doing comparison videos. But that backhoe, I've only been in maybe 1 or maybe 2 situations where I thought it was gonna flip over. And I think that was just me getting nervous. I don't actually think it was close to flipping over. I've already heard a lot of people say these are easy to turn over. So that could potentially be a concern. I've had this backhoe in some gnarly positions digging out this road up here that I really don't think you could put this thing in without turning over. So we are gonna find out. Let me know what you guys wanna see on this thing. I'm gonna be making tons of videos about it because I know people are interested, and there's not a whole lot of videos about them already. There's some, but I know everyone's interested in them. I know I was super interested in them. I've been studying them for months, thinking about getting one. I kind of can't believe that I have one now. But I think there's a lot of fun in store with it. I don't like that it doesn't have a seat belt. I should have thrown that in there. It's got a roll cage, but no seat belt. That cage doesn't do you a whole lot of good if you're not going to stay in there when it flips over. I might try to figure something out about that. I don't know. Or I might take the cab off, because if it doesn't have a seatbelt, I'd rather be able to jump off of it if it started to turn over than just be caged in there. So, lots to come. Let me know what you guys thought about this video. Appreciate all you guys' support, as always. And like I always say, thanks for watching.